My name's Emily Boffman. I'm from the Early Childhood Resource Center. I'm one of the parent engagement coordinators there. I work with moms. I think when our kids are young, we introduce them to all sorts of safety measures, right? We try to keep them out of outlets by putting outlet covers. We try to keep them out of cleaning products by putting special locks on the doors. Why not have that conversation on safety with alcohol in the home? We make sometimes alcohol out to be, we kind of glorify it, right? We wear t-shirts that we say, mama needs wine. And so we want to be really careful how we encourage that message. That's a message that we send to our kids. So I think that's really, really important, that we're not using alcohol as a stress reliever and sending that message, because our kids get stressed. We will all get stressed. When you're going out to eat and you're ordering a drink, just have that conversation with your child about drinking alcohol. Also, even you should have someone to drive you home. So if you're partaking at a restaurant and of even one glass, then you should always have a designated driver. It sends a good message to your child. We also should model responsible drinking by also knowing the amount of alcohol that you should be consuming. That would be an appropriate amount. There would be a responsible amount, so they understand what that model of consumption is and what's excessive. I think multiple little talks are the best way, instead of one big moment that you have that conversation and then you just leave it and you table it. So if you talk to your kids in little opportunities, like in between commercials or when you're in the car taking them to school. My son loves to take car rides. That's his family meeting time. I take a car ride with him. I ask him about his day. Then you really learn a few things. You learn how much stress your kid's really in. You know if your child is high risk. And so, because if your child is stressed all the time, they're high risk for substance abuse in general. And so how can you help them not be as stressed? And so then you can kind of move forward with that conversation and say, gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you had an argument with a kid at school. And so what can we do to help you through it? Parents play an absolute critical role in children's use of alcohol, and drugs for that matter. It's proven that the parent's disapproval is the number one reason that a child would say no, especially underage. We just want to be that influence to our child, We want to give our kids the discernment to be able to make that decision. So we want to put that bug in their ear so they know what the right thing is. And so when they're sitting there with that decision, in front of them, they have to say, okay, I really know the consequence of this decision and I'm going to make it. And it might not be good, but I'm going to make it. And they're going to be more informed in the end. So when the consequence hits, then they're going to say, I knew this was coming, and they're going to be able to problem solve out of that. The use may just happen, but what's the conversation afterwards? Are you able to problem solve with your children? Are your children able to problem solve and say, boy, that was a really stupid decision. I really did stupid. I think this is really important just to keep you busy, right? A busy mind doesn't get distracted to make other choices. And so I think getting your kids involved in community organizations, if you can, getting them exposed into the facts of things. I mean, there's so many organizations around just even Stark County here that your child can get involved in and really learn the facts that maybe as a parent you might not know. If your child's 14 or older, they can join the Stark County Youth-Led Prevention Group. And that's just a great way to get involved. That's a great way that they can get involved with their peers, help prevent over abuse and use in the area. So I think that's a great way for your kids to get involved. And if you need tips at starting that conversation at any age, visit the website below.